Hi, welcome back to English Be Good. My name is Chris, and today we're looking at a great song by Pearl Jam called Black. It was released in 1991, and the song was written by Eddie Vedder and Stone Gossard, the guitar player, one of the guitar players in the band. And this song was never released as a single, even though the record label felt it had crossover appeal because it's more of a ballad. If we think about the general meaning of the song, I would say this song is about getting over a relationship. Okay, getting over is a phrasal verb we've seen before, and it means to kind of pass that period of grief and sadness that you have at the end of a relationship. And Eddie once said that the song is about letting go, releasing the emotions, the pain, letting go. And I would say that it's quite obvious that it's a girl who has left Eddie's life, and he's finding it hard to accept that his world is now not the same without her. His memories of her and the time together have now become black, and meaning she was kind of the light in his life, and everything's gone dark, meaning negative and sad, really. So in case you didn't know, Pearl Jam are one of the grunge bands, yes, from the grunge era, along with Nirvana. The two bands were probably the main bands of that scene, or the most successful. And there was a bit of rivalry at the beginning between the bands, but this was promoted a lot by the press. There were a few critical comments by Kurt Cobain of Pearl Jam being commercial, but later apparently they got on quite well and they had a good relationship. So let's get on with analyzing the lyrics. Okay, so the first line is hey, hey, yay, ooh. That's what it says in the lyrics, but that's just Eddie at the beginning. You hear a bit of guitar jingling, and then you hear Eddie going hey. The first real line of the song is sheets of empty canvas, untouched sheets of clay. Okay, so here these are art materials. Okay, empty canvas is what we paint on. Well, empty when you haven't painted on it, of course, and untouched sheets of clay. And here, one interpretation is that the girl who Eddie was dating was an artist, and her art materials are still left in his house, and he's looking at them and remembering her, and it's affecting him. Some people think that this is a reference to the bed sheets, and how the girl's body is no longer in his bed, because the next line says, "Were laid spread out before me, as her body once did." But personally, I think it's the art materials. And she was an artist. Okay. So the next line, that we just mentioned, were laid out. It's a phrasal verb, laid out. Spread out is another phrasal verb. The meaning is quite similar. Okay, so to be laid out is to, I'll give you one meaning, is to be arranged in a way that makes it easier to see. And spread out, it means to be, to moved in a way that fills the whole space, that's equally distributed, in the way that maybe a group of people in a hall could be all together and they say, spread out, please. It means to move around, get some space, distribute yourselves equally in this space. Anyway, let's not go too far down that road. So laid out can also be a design, to be nicely presented, a nice layout. To lay something out well is to position or maybe the photograph and the text in a magazine so it looks nice. To lay someone out doesn't mean to punch them very hard, and so they lose consciousness and fall to the ground, like knockout. This is not obviously the meaning here. Now there are a few other little meanings, but we're not going to go into those now. So here he's talking about the way the art materials were on the table, distributed or in front of him, like her body once was. Okay, now the word spread out sometimes is used as a sexual reference, meaning her body was like waiting for him in the bed. Now, the next line, all five horizons revolved around her soul as the earth to the sun. So he's making a comparison here. Now, people argue a bit about the five horizons. What does that mean? I think it means his whole world. Okay, every aspect of his world went around, revolved around her soul because she was so inspiring to him. In the same way as the earth moves around the sun. Some people believe these are the five senses. Other people believe it has some kind of religious pentagram reference. But I think it means his whole world was, at that time in the relationship, focused on her. Now the air I tasted and breathed has taken a turn. Now to take a turn is an idiom. If you extend it a bit, take a turn for the worse, which means change to become worse. So yeah, in this case, the atmosphere in the past and this air that he breathed of happiness has become bad. And then he says, and all I taught her was everything. Meaning for me, this means everything he gave her. He gave her everything. And possibly it could literally mean that he taught her a lot and she took advantage of everything he taught her and she left. It's possible. But I think it means he gave her everything. I know she gave me all that she wore. So we have an expression to wear your heart on your sleeve, which is to kind of show everyone how you really feel. And I think this line refers to the fact that the girl was genuine to him and she gave him everything. So I think here, all that she wore, it means everything. Okay, next verse says, and now my bitter hands chafe beneath the clouds. So bitter is an emotion. It's a flavor as well. If you eat a lemon, you get that feeling. This is bitter. Now, bitter is also an emotion that means to be angry about something happened in the past that you cannot forget about. I think that is a reference here. And also we talk about sometimes having bitterly cold hands, so meaning very cold. It says chafing beneath the clouds. This is quite bizarre. Chafing is when your hands or skin rubs against something. And it causes red irritation, it causes soreness. It hurts. It's like if your shorts are rubbing on your leg or something after you've been swimming and it gets sore. This is chafing. Now, beneath the clouds, maybe because this world of his has become overclouded, full of clouds and dark, and he's got cold, bitter hands and feeling the emotion here is coldness, being bitter and angry. It's quite poetic. Of what was everything? Okay, so he's thinking back to what everything he had in the past. What was everything? All the pictures have been washed in black. So I think it's that his memories, the pictures in his mind of her, have become distorted and become dark and sad. And that's the reference to the black. And tattooed everything. So all of these happy memories have been tattooed, permanently marked with some kind of negativity and sadness. Then the next verse says, I take a walk outside. I'm surrounded by some kids at play. So it's pretty simple, this line. He's outside, he hears some kids. I can feel their laughter, so why do I see her? So he's saying that even though he can hear the kids laughing, it's a nice sound, why does he still feel so bad? To see it is to have a sudden bad effect on someone, or a sudden bad feeling. And the kids here laughing, for some reason, has made him feel bad. Or maybe it's just that he's just feeling bad anyway. Okay. And twisted thoughts that spin around my head. Okay, so spin round is a phrasal verb that means to go around, like a washing machine. Okay, so here his thoughts are shooting around in his head or spinning, and he can't get his head straight. I'm spinning, how quick the sun can drop away. So he's looking here at how in the past he had the light in his life, his girlfriend, the sun, and how this can drop away, meaning to become weak. To become smaller or weaker is to drop away. And here it's becoming darker, of course, and blacker because the girl has gone. And he's saying how fast this can happen. Next line, and now my bitter hands cradle broken glass. So again, his bitterness, this angry feeling, his hands are cradling broken glass, cradling like a baby. Why is this, we ask? Well, I'm imagining maybe he's smashed some of her old pictures or something, literally, and then he's regretting it and he's kind of holding them in his hands. But it could be a bit more symbolic. It could be that it's obviously something that's broken. The relationship is broken. He's comparing it to broken glass, the fragments, the memories, and he's holding them in his hand, looking at them and thinking back. Okay, of what was everything? He's thinking about how everything was when he was happy. All the pictures have all been washed in black. Yeah, so these memories, again, have all become negative. And then we have tattooed everything again. All the love gone bad turned my world to black. So this, to go bad, obviously, become bad. And it's made his world black now that she has gone. Tattooed all I see, so everything that I am and I'll be. So, heavy. Saying that this effect that she's had on him has just made everything black, tattooed everything black. Okay, everything is sad, everything is dark, nothing is good. Pretty heavy, hey? Okay, then he says, I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. So he's imagining her now in the next relationship, perhaps. I know you'll be a star in someone else's sky, but why? So here the metaphor of the star in the sky, meaning she is the light. She was the light in his sky before, in his life. Now she's going to be the star in someone else's life. And he says, oh, why can't it be mine? Yeah, my sky, my life. Oh, yeah. And then that's more or less the end of the song. It fades out with some kind of howling and sadness. Yeah, so it's a sad song, but it's emotionally very beautiful. And I don't think a sad song necessarily has to make you feel sad. Okay, so let's have a recap at some of the phrasal verbs and idioms in this song. The first one was to lay out. Okay, now I'll go through all of the different meanings now briefly. Number one, to spread something out, to arrange things so you can see them easily. So you could lay all your clothes out on the bed before you pack your bags, so you can see exactly what you've got. Spread them out is to move them apart a bit more, so they're not so close together, so everything's got a bit of space and they're equally distributed. Okay, another meaning, to explain something carefully and clearly. Let me lay it out for you. Let me make it clear. 3, to be arranged like in a design. You can lay out the artwork very nicely. 4, it can be informal, meaning to spend a lot of money. Well, not necessarily a lot, but to spend money on something like an event, like a wedding. You could say he laid out 5,000 for the wedding. To lay someone out, to punch them, hit them very hard so they lose consciousness and fall to the ground. Also, we say to knock someone out. They are the main meanings. Take a turn, an idiom, which means to take a turn for the worse, to become worse. To spin around, this is an idiom. Spin around meaning to turn very quickly, drop away. This is a phrasal verb that means to become weaker or smaller in amount. Chafe is just a word that was a bit tricky. It means to when your skin rubs, becomes a little bit sore through constant rubbing. Sear, meaning to have a sudden strong and unpleasant effect on someone, is to sear. And turn to black. meaning become dark. So now it's time to get the guitar. We're going to sing along together, and hopefully this will help you remember all of these new phrases. Okay, here's the guitar. Come on.
She's of empty canvas, untouched sheets of clay. Were they spread out before me as her body once did? Oh, five horizons rolled around her soul as the air to the sun. Now the earth I tasted and breathed has taken a turn. All I told her was everything. All I know, she gave me all that she wore, and now my little hands chip beneath the clouds. What was everything? All the pictures have all been washed in black, tattooed everything. I take a walk outside. I'm surrounded by some kids at play. I can feel the laughter. So why do I see her? I'm twisted thoughts that spin round my head. I'm spinning, oh, I'm spinning. How quick the sun can drop away. Yeah, and now my bitter hands cradle broken glass. What was everything? All the pictures have been washed in black, tattooed everything. All the love gone back, till my world to black, tattooed all I see, and all I have, and all I'll be. Yeah. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. Who knows you'll be a star in somebody else's sky, but why? Can it be? Why can't it be mine?
Okay, thanks for watching today. I'll be back soon with another great video, maybe a band profile, maybe another of these lyrics analysis videos. But either way, you will learn lots of great phrasal verbs and idioms with the video. My name is Chris, this is English Be Good. If you can please press like or subscribe down below, I would appreciate it. And see you soon. Take care. Bye.